Okay, so I tried putting this Pelagos 39 on the rubber strap a little while ago, and it lasted about 2 hours before I put it back onto the bracelet. The main reason for that was lack of comfort, and I'll come on to this. But really, I wanted to give it a better shot, so I've been wearing it for a week, so that's just over 7 days, to see if it's something that I would like, that I'll continue with. And this video is just to give you an update on how I found it. As always, I'll try and break the video down. So we've got the positives and negatives, and there'll be various different sections or discussion points within the positives and negatives, and then I'll just give my kind of final thoughts on it. What I will say is this is obviously very subjective. These are the kind of things that I like. Some people will instantly be turned off by the rubber strap and want it on the bracelet. So this is just my personal thoughts. Don't get offended by it if you prefer it on a bracelet. That's up to you. You crack on and you enjoy your watch on a titanium bracelet. So going into the positives, the first positive thing is the weight. So this is already a very light watch. Set to my 7-inch wrist, it is a 107 gram watch on the strap, on the bracelet. On the rubber strap, it is 79 grams. 79 grams. It's ridiculous. It's already comfortable, but being that much lighter, it's even more comfortable, and you notice it on your wrist even less than when it's on the titanium bracelet, which is already extremely comfortable. So it just makes an already comfortable watch even more comfortable to wear. The looks, this is obviously going to be very subjective. I really like it. There are lots of popular, famous sports watches from very big brands that come only on rubber straps. Thinking of the Yachtmaster 2 rose gold on a black rubber strap, that's probably one of my top watches that I like, and hopefully someday will own. So if this came only on the rubber strap, I'd be really happy with it. I really like the look. I like the integrated end links and the way it uses those, as opposed to being rubber all the way up like the aftermarket straps. Some people prefer those. I really like this. It breaks up the watch a bit more. It stops it all being black, and I really enjoy the aesthetic of that. I really like the ridge in the middle. Again, it just adds another little bit of texture and something else visually to look at, as opposed to just being completely flat like some watch straps are. And I like the buckle. It's nicely done. It's not crazy. It's very well finished. I like the logo. It's just very basic and very easy. And obviously, because it's brushed titanium, it matches perfectly with the watch itself. So overall, I really like the way it looks. I will just take it off the cushion quickly. I wanted it on that cushion for a reason, which we'll come on to later. I'll come on to this bit in a minute as well, actually, as we go through the review of it, because there's a positive and a negative for that. On the underside, I like the fact that the kind of, they're supposed to be moisture wicking, but I'm not convinced they work on any straps. But the moisture wicking design is a snowflake style, in keeping with the rest of the brand. I really like that. There's just some really basic Tudor text on that side. I'll put it that way so you can actually read it. And then also you'll see that the holes are actually sloped inwards. Hopefully you can see that. So what that means is when the buckle goes, or the pin goes through it, instead of it kind of bumping up like that over your wrist, it doesn't do that, because there's the slopes on the pinholes themselves. So that's quite a nice little feature. So overall, looks wise, I really like it. I like it on the bracelet, but I also like it on this. And my favorite feature is probably the use of the end links. You have to excuse me while I go through the rest of my notes. So the keepers, right. As you just saw, it's quite difficult to move the keepers. This can be a positive and a negative, right? So for example, if I put it down here and put it on, just put on the one I normally wear it on, that one. To get it in, it's really quite straightforward. It just goes in, not a problem at all. Then what you find is the keepers are actually quite sticky almost, which is actually a very good thing. Initially, I thought this was a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing, because it means that when you're wearing the watch, they're not kind of you can see it's quite tough to move. They're not moving around all the time. They actually stay in position. So I do like the fact that it's quite almost sticky, and you'll see when you try to get it off, it's actually a little bit challenging to take it off. But again, it means that the keepers stay in position where you want them to be. I don't know if that's done on purpose or if that's an accident, but I do quite like that, because you do find on some watches the keepers move around too much. This is my Zenith. There you go. I have some of that bad boy. Love it. This one here moves around quite a lot, and I find myself constantly pushing it back, whereas I don't find that on this. The keeper does stay where you want it to be. So pretty happy with that. What I will say is on this Artem strap, here it is. What I do like that Artem have done, just to support that, is you can see the two little notches, and the keeper sits in between those notches so it doesn't move. It would be nice to see Tudor implement something like that on the first keeper, because as it is, they're both just sliding keepers, and I don't really see the need for that. Even on this watch, the first keeper is actually stitched into the strap, so it'd be nice to see the first keeper held in position as a minimum, whether it was done like Artem's one with those little ridges, or like my Zenith with having it stitched in. I'll show you actually. So you can see the first keeper is literally stitched into the strap. So something like that would, I think, be beneficial. The comfort, right, so this is going to be an important factor. I wore the watch for 7 days, pretty much bang on. So bear in mind, when you first put the watch on the wrist, the strap goes straight out like that, okay? And the top of the strap is obviously thicker than the bottom of the strap, so that bit's quite flexible. It's actually all quite flexible, but this bit up here is a little bit thicker. So when I first wore the watch, it would kind of pop off your wrist a bit. It would kind of sit up here because the strap hadn't conformed to the shape of my wrist. So what I did, it took about 3 to 4 days of wearing it during the day and then keeping it on this pillow or any watch pillow you've got overnight for the strap to, as you can see, bend like this. And now it's very comfortable. I have no issues with it at all. It conforms to my wrist, and I find it very comfortable to wear. But you do have to kind of persevere with that first 3 to 4 day period, because it is a little bit uncomfortable, and you need to wear it on the tighter of the settings that you can to make it bend to your wrist. I did put it in some hot water and then let it cool on my wrist. I can't tell you if that helped or not, because I was wearing it the whole time anyway. I know some people put the straps in like a cup with hot water and leave them in there to cool down as well, so it's all kind of curled up inside the cup. Again, I can't tell you if that works or not, but you can clearly see the strap has completely changed position from being flat coming out to having an actual curve to it. So once you've got through, like I say, that little initial 3 or 4 days, it is a very, very comfortable strap to wear. I also prefer rubber straps during the summer over any other. Leather, obviously not. I'm quite a sweaty guy, and it's not pleasant. And then metal straps, they just stick to me. So I do prefer rubber straps in the summer as well. So for me, this is kind of a win on quite a lot of fronts. What's the other benefit? Durability. Obviously, being a rubber strap, it's not going to pick up scratches, marks, dinks, dents that a metal, so a titanium strap will. So if you're someone that's really precious about maintaining your strap, I'm not with this watch, to be honest with you. I don't plan on selling it for a while anyway. But it does mean that you can wear it on this strap, have it very comfortable, and it's also very robust. So I am wearing it more than I did before. I do travel to London for work. I have to go on the trains. People bump. You'd be amazed how often people bump into you. And sometimes they've got like bikes, scooters, their wristwatches, whatever it is. So having it on the rubber strap does stop it from getting marked up, and it stops desk diving, scratches and scuffs and all that type of stuff. So from a durability perspective, I also prefer it on this strap. One other thing that I haven't mentioned on any of my other reviews, I really like I don't think I have anyway, the chamfer on the bottom of the case. I've never actually noticed that before, but it's got a really nice chamfer all the way around the side of the case. Anyway, slightly off topic, but I like that a lot. Okay, on to the negatives. Comfort. The first 2 or 3 days are a pain in the ass, right? You can't get around it. It's a little bit uncomfortable. You do have to persevere, but I do think it is worth it. There is a payoff. This watch is extremely flexible, and what you'll find is no matter what you do, and whether you wear one of these for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it will always go back to being straight. It's very soft and it's very comfortable, but what you don't ever get is a real conformed curve to the strap where it really does fit around your wrist really nicely. So you can either have a really soft strap like the Artem one, or they've got other ones that are a bit more like this and will actually end up curving to your wrist, or you can have ones that are a little bit thicker, take a little bit longer, but will eventually curve to your wrist. I got to be honest, these are my preference, because once it does curve to your wrist, it is extremely comfortable. Clasp, I wish you could use the clasp from the bracelet on this. I think it looks nicer, it gives you additional flexibility, and for me it makes the watch feel more expensive. Not being able to use the T-fit clasp, I think, is a bummer. Strap changing, I have scratched it. Changing strap, you can see little marks. Can you see the mark? There are marks, I promise. You can see one there where I slipped with the toolbar, strap changing toolbar, and there's tiny little marks, even though I tape it up, there's tiny little marks on each of the bottom of the lugs, tiny, but they are there. On this watch, quick release strap changing is just, if you're going to offer a watch with multiple straps, make it quick release. A lot of people will not have the ability, the patience, or the tools to change the straps. That continues to irk me and be disappointing. And the final real negative, I guess, is the fact that it's just obviously less versatile on this. Again, if it had quick release straps, you could take this on holiday, you could have the bracelet and the rubber strap, and you'd be able to change it and wear it as your one holiday watch. As it is, I wouldn't wear this with a suit on a rubber strap, but I would on the bracelet. So bear in mind, obviously, if you do have it on the rubber strap, it is less versatile. Overall, I'm super happy with it. I will actually be keeping it on the rubber strap and not putting it back on the bracelet. I do find it more comfortable. I do like the fact that it is more scratch resistant. I do like the fact that it's super light, and I will be wearing it more in the summer and just generally now. I just think it's an absolute cracker. So if you're on the fence, give it some time, put it on, and if you do like the look of it, because I really do think it looks fantastic, just give it a bit of time. If you have any questions, obviously, as always, please just let me know.